All right. Welcome to Alberta Football Uncensored. All right, a little switcheroo. Tej is out golfing, which means I'm taking over the show, especially for this special episode. Very excited for it because this is now one that I think a lot of our countries, a lot of guys who pay attention to Canadian football is on the senior side, and I think this is one thing now where it's back. Canada's back on the international stage with the senior men's national team. I got a few gentlemen here with us here who are on the opposite side of the world right now, other side of the pond, right, 8 hours ahead. I think they just come off a walkthrough here and appreciate their time. So I want to get right to it here now with I got Chris Merchant, Jaden Lawson, Ken Hicks, and Edric, and it's his last name here, but I'm gonna let him intro himself here first. All these guys got quite the resumes. Intro yourself, and then we'll dive into what I got for you guys.
My name's Frederic Lessière. I'm from Montreal, Canada. Well, Boucherville to be exact. Started playing football when I was 4. High school with my city. Then I went to Cégep at André Grasset. University, I did 2 years at Penn State. Then I went to the pro route. I played in Europe last year in Sweden. Got picked up by the Hamilton. Did the camp down there, got cut, and now I'm in the national team. So we'll see what's next.
Awesome.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Merchant, born and raised in Calgary, Alberta, and made my way out east to Ontario for high school at St. Andrews College. Got a Division I scholarship down at the University of Buffalo, and then transferred up to Western University. Was fortunate enough to win a Vanier and a Crichton, and then had a very short stint in the CFL before going overseas as well, and played in Spain and Hungary. Retired a couple years ago, and then when this Team Canada opportunity came up, decided to kind of end my career, I feel like, on a high note in a way, and just represent my country. I think it's a great opportunity for us, and we're excited for this short span of games that we got coming up here.
Hey everybody, it's Jaden Lawson here. I started my football career pretty late on. I was about 15, 16. I started at Western Canada High School in Calgary, Alberta. And then from there, I played a couple years with Omari for the Calgary Colts. And then from there, I went to McMaster University out in Hamilton, Ontario. Played my 5 years out there. Had honor of beating Chris Merchant, winning a Yates Cup.
Only because I was injured.
Yeah, he was injured. But then from there, didn't necessarily get any looks for any pro teams in the CFL, which is fine. So I kind of continued just, my love of football, playing the Ontario Men's League, so the NFC. So I played for the Tri-City Outlaws for 2 years, and then after my second year, I got an opportunity to go play overseas for the Nitra Knights. We won a championship with them, and now I'm just on my second season with the Nitra Knights. And during this journey of me playing football overseas, I had the opportunity to play for Team Canada on the senior men's team. So here we are now.
Hey guys, Ken Hicks. Started my ball in BC. That's where I was raised up. Played at Robert Bateman Secondary, and then actually straight out of there went into Manitoba. So I played Manitoba for about all my years of eligibility. In between that, went and played West Shore Rebels as well. So that junior circuit for a little bit. Once that was done, my CFL side of things kind of got cut short with the COVID side of things, and also national status because I am American. At that time, I wasn't able to kind of get in the Canadian roster, so I am Canadian citizen now. And then I went through injuries. I ruptured my Achilles in 2022 playing with Cold Lake, and that was right before I was hopefully going to get overseas here to play in Straubing in Germany. So this is kind of one of those things for me where I'm just trying to go out on a good note, represent Canada as best I can, and you never know what might come from this. So that's kind of where things are at right now.
Quite a journey to go through, and I don't think not a lot of kids or aspiring football players who are in that Bantam high school time see the journey of. But can you tell a bit about how your journey was, either on the recruitment side or some steps you took to go CJEP, NCAA, and lead you to other opportunities?
Yeah, so starting as I would say my third year of high school, I started being really active on Twitter, posting all my highlights, texting coach, and really just spamming the hell out of the coaches. I know they were tired of me, but I was just sending everything. And I was on a 7-on-7 team called Flight Club Academy. That helped me get in front of 247 Sports. I got an interview with them back in the days. It helped me a little bit with Syracuse. I didn't end up getting an offer from them, but I started by that point. Like I'm like, okay, I might have a shot. So I was like sending all the videos to all the coach, and eventually I got picked up by Penn State. So that was really great.
That's really cool. And how would you describe your time at Penn State? Because I bet NCAA, I believe it's a Big Ten. Don't quote me on like if it's
Yeah.
SEC or anything like that, but it's a very very popular school. A good friend of mine plays soccer at Penn State, but he just said it was absolute like one of his best times ever. Like, what would you say? What do you have to speak to your time there at Penn State?
Oh wait, yes, like pretty much the best time of my life when I was Penn State. I didn't play. I was a practice squad, but met some great people that I still keep in touch to this day. Like they're in the NFL right now. Like I just texted one of my buddies. He plays for the Patriot. Texted this morning. It's his birthday. Like all the guys were really great. Had so much fun down there. Just didn't work out for me. That's why I transferred. I was supposed to go to Stone Island University, Stony Brook University. Sorry, had a full scholarship offer down there, but there was a mess up in school, so that's why I went to play in Europe. Yeah.
Nice, nice. From the sense of a lot of you guys there, this is all for you guys. The Europe route seems to be on the table more as it comes to that pivotal point where university ends, junior ends, and then I know there's CFL, there's men's league, and then there's Euro that comes into everyone's decision making. Where would you guys, when you look at the mindsets that everyone has when it comes to that like junction in your career of like, all right, I'm not getting CFL or I am getting CFL. Do I look at Euro or men's? What are some of the thoughts that come into play there for a lot of players? And you can speak for yourself, you can speak for other players that you've heard about, but open the floor to anyone who wants to answer here first.
You want to do it? You
Yeah,
here right now.
yeah, sure. So I guess like part of it for me is I did want to reach the next level. I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to play, I guess, quote unquote professional football. Right, you're getting paid, although it's not as high level as the CFL, NFL. Even out here the ELF, but nonetheless you're still getting paid. You're still playing pretty good football. So I wanted that opportunity, but also the opportunity to go, experience other parts of the world. So there is, vast benefit to coming out here playing football. But I think, when you're evaluating whether it's worth it or not, you kind of have to be at the right place in your life, career wise. You can't really justify coming out to Europe to play football if you have car payments, a house payment, if you do have a career or a job that requires you to be in Canada, it's just not justifiable or is not feasible, right? So, for me, I was able to make ends meet because I wasn't necessarily having any of those things to pay for. I have a really supportive family and a core network of friends that kind of pushed me to do it as well. I have other friends out here that are currently playing as well, which definitely helped because I can always go visit them and stuff. But yeah, if you are looking to, continue your career and CFL isn't necessarily an option, I think Europe is the next best thing because you get paid to play and you get, the chance to experience the world and cultures and gain perspective. So yeah, that's kind of what I got here. I think Mary too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say very similar. Like for me, it was the opportunity to travel, and I think growing up, when you're engulfed in football, you don't have the opportunities that maybe some other people have. I know my sister went on this MEI trip, and for me, sports were everything. So it was hard for me to leave like 3-4 weeks at a time and miss like a chunk of seasons. So that was just finishing university, knowing that again I wasn't going to have a shot playing the CFL. Was just a great opportunity to go over there and do that. And then also, I think the love of the game, where you want to spread what made you fall in love with it, and being able to help people that maybe don't have the high level of coaching or the understanding of the game that we got to grow up with. And like, I think Canada still is continuing to growing with the game compared to the U.S. and then Europe's even more behind than we are. So just kind of trying to level the playing field, and I think the ELF is completely changing football in Europe as well, and has kind of reinstated that kind of country to country rivalry that's going on, and it's a high level of football now. Like I think it's probably close to being on par with the X League in Japan, and those are probably, they're definitely under the CFL, but improving every day. I think so. I think it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Anyone else want to pop in on that one?
I'll just back up what yeah, you said. I don't got much experience with that, so that's on them.
That was really a way to get some film, and for me it was more like I was trying to like stop university because it wasn't really the route I was trying to go, and I was still trying to play football. So I was like, okay, like either like I stop my career now or I can try Europe. And I went to Europe. I was supposed to be there for 4 months. Ended up staying only one and got picked up by CFL. So I think it's a good way to get some film and maybe go back to the CFL afterwards. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. And I want to now tie it into the personal side here. So I think in the very beginning of this podcast, I always ask the question of, what made you fall in love with football? And so I wanted to give a chance to give you guys to maybe reconnect with your youthful self and everything, and answer that question of, compliment how far you've come, but as well, what was that moment where you realized that, hey, I love this game. I like this game. I can play this at a high level, and I want to do this for as long as I can. Ken, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I'd say for me it was going and playing my junior ball is when I really started to fall in love with it again. I felt that once I got out to university, because I went straight out of high school and was playing right away, on the active roster, it was one of those things where I felt like it was starting to become more of a job at that point rather than, a fun way to, hang out with the brothers. You gain an all new family when you start playing in such timing and such quarters that you play in when you're in the university ball. That when I went into junior, it was more of a relaxed situation. It was able to really focus off and have fun and not feel like, oh damn, I got school that I got to go deal with, or I got exams coming up, so I got to go do this. It allowed you to still work a job while still getting to play the game, right? And that's where I think I really fall in love. I had Shane Beatty as my coach. I'm sure there's going to be many people listening to this that know who Beatty is, and I don't know. He helped re-solidify things. It was nice to have a coach that had your back, not under the pressure of always having athletic directors or other school factors playing into it, and it's more of everybody's just there to play football. So that's kind of one of those times where I felt like, man, this is why I like doing this. I'm with my boys all the time. We're out there. We were dominating at the point, so that obviously made it more fun. But yeah, I think that's kind of the stage where I fell in love with it again. And I was like, all right, getting the combine invite in 2017 was also another big boost. It's like, okay, like they notice you, they know who you are. Like, just do your thing. Obviously, you're good enough to have the opportunities. You're good enough to play, and that's kind of where I just fell in love with it again. And that's where the push came from my side. You want to go?
Sure.
I mean, for me, my story is a little bit unique. I started playing football in grade 11, which is super, super late for some. And for me, I got pushed to start playing football. It's not something that came naturally organic for me. So I got pushed to play. I remember my first practice, coach just told me to go in at D-line. And my first practice, I'll never forget it. Emerson Padley gave me a stinger in one of the A gaps. And, that pain, that drive, that just constant driving to be better and better each day just kind of is what enticed me to keep coming back, even though I had no idea what I was doing. But then it's the aspect of football is family. For me, I moved out when I was in grade 11. I was on my own, and it just so ended up where friends of mine took me in, and one of our D-line coaches at Western Canada High School ended up adopting me. So it's just one of those things where football is family, and you grow with your teammates, you grow with your coaches, and then you get to kind of continue off in a path where it's your own unique story. So for me, I guess that's pretty much all I got on that front. I kind of went on a tangent and forgot the direction I was going, but yeah. So you know, it's nice for Canadian football where there is always an outlet too. After my CJFL, after my college career, university career, right? I didn't necessarily have the looks in CFL, or I didn't have the looks overseas yet. So what was next? It was men's league. It was AFC, NFC, and I think those are very good foundational leagues for people that are in my situation to continue to play the sport that they love and grow those everlasting relationships with new teammates and friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for you.
Hey,
I'll hand
no,
it over.
that's awesome from the heart.
Yeah. I started playing football when I was 8 and fell in love with it like from day one. And I played running back first, and then moved to receiver, and then eventually played quarterback. But I think what made me fall in love with the game was like the hybrid of it's such a mental game, but it's also a very physical game. So it's kind of that perfect mix of the two, where you can beat a team if you're more prepared than them, but it helps if you're more physical and stronger and bigger, faster as well. So it's the mixing of the two, and really having to prepare on all facets, and I think that's what makes it great, because anybody can win at any given time, especially if you're more prepared. So that was really, really awesome to me. And then I think going back to the family football's family thing, like I think it's pretty cool that there's basically a position for everybody. So like if you're big, small, fast, slow, whatever it is, like they'll find a position for you. Everybody basically will accept you, and you just come in, and it doesn't matter if you're. I mean, you can be the most competitive, the least competitive, whatever it is. Football finds a way to include you, and I think that's a really cool part of the game, and what I found was really, really enticing to me as well, to keep going and kind of see how far I could take it. And yeah.
Yeah, for me, I started when I was 4. Right, my dad was a football player. He played at Université Laval. Uh, he was recruited by the Montreal Alouettes, but he got injured, so career-ending injury. But my dad really pushed me into football, and I really fell in love as soon as I started playing. And another part is that really the brotherhood. Like I would have never met these guys if it wasn't football. Like they're on the other side of the country, but everybody comes together and for the love of the game, and I think it's a beautiful, really beautiful thing.
That's awesome. And question I have for you personally, Frederick, how did your dad introduce football to you? Because I have a young son here now, and there's a few of my friends. We all play football growing up, and then now we all have kids. We're all trying to like, what's the best way to
Well,
introduce football? Because we don't want to be that dad that's like overbearing. Hey, you have to do this. Live my dreams through you. But I want
well,
him to do
he
that.
tried. Like me, I was a hockey player too. So my dad was pushing me towards all the sports. I tried soccer, I tried baseball, I tried everything, but I didn't really like soccer and baseball. I was more of a hockey player. And when he showed me football, at first it was a little hard because I had like ADHD bad. I was just running around, not listening to stuff and blah blah blah. But football, the good thing about football is like you get like the strict, like I don't know how to say it in English, but like discipline. So it was
Mhm.
good for me because I was really a troubled child. I was doing all bunch of stuff, and I think it really kept me on the right way. I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have went to Cégep or university if it wasn't for football. So that's another good thing about the sport.
Mhm.
It pushes you to your best every day. But to, for how my dad introduced me to the sport, I just he just brought me to see if I liked it, and I just picked it up, and I really liked it. So yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta you gotta show him a little bit of everything, and he's gonna pick what he likes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got my little guy in gymnastics right now. So we're starting off with gymnastics. We got soccer lined up, and we're gonna cycle it through, which is cool. Oh, getting to the tournament here now. You guys are in Italy right now in Rome. Game is tomorrow, I believe. So when this comes out, might be on the day of. How's the preparation been going for this? Like, have you guys seen a lot of film? What do you guys know so far? Is this just a case where you're like, hey, we're just gonna show up and be athletes? What's kind of been the vibe so far on that side?
Say
Anyone can answer.
for the defensive side, it's been more of possibilities going off of what they could be doing. So just kind of being set for pretty much everything you're going to see across the board, right? Um, a lot. We have a lot of athletes on this team. That's definitely not a question. There's a lot of guys that can ball and have balled, and they've gotten to the level with the acclimates behind them to show that and prove that. So it's been nice to be able just to kind of get in a situation where you don't have to teach the ground rules of things and the basics of things. You can
Mhm.
just get into a variety of possibilities that you have to prep for. We didn't have a whole lot of film on the defensive side of things. There wasn't a lot provided, as well as we just didn't have a lot for them to go off of. So it was more of like a semifinal game, and there was a final game as well. The film wasn't the best, obviously, because it was YouTube style, but for the most part, like we were able to see what we're working with. We're able to see what we're doing. We're just letting our athletes ball at the end of the day, right? That's what it comes down to is you got to perform. I've been saying to a lot of the guys on the D line is make your reps count, make your reps count, but don't count your reps, right? So
Hmm.
don't be out there wanting to get in there. Obviously, everybody's athletes, everybody can play, but when you are in there, fly to the ball, do what you need to do. You're an athlete. You're here for a reason. That's kind of just been the model that we've kind of been following.
Hello.
I was gonna say I think offensively is very similar. Like really doing whatever we can. We've seen a little bit of what they might do, and again, I think when we line up against them, we'll figure out what they're doing and just have a bit of a game plan based on what we think we're going to see and what they're actually giving us. So I think what's our focus going in tomorrow is just like lining up and focusing on what our jobs are instead
Hmm.
of focusing on what we're doing. And obviously we have to execute and react to what they do. But I think first thing is just getting to play and understanding what our roles are and doing the right things every play and making sure that obviously it's a different game for a lot of us. A lot of the guys I don't think have played American rules. So kind of learning the style, learning what you are and aren't allowed to do, and getting set and making sure that we play fast and physical football. I think at the end of the day, that's going to help us win the game. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and
another.
quick question. I was saying,
Sorry.
quick question back to Chris and to Jaden. Chris, you have a lot of experience with because you guys are playing 11 on 11, and with you going to University of Buffalo, this is now where I guess you're able to pull that experience of seeing 11 on 11 versus the 12 on 12 in Canadian football. You have that nice blend of being able to see both, played in both, dominate in both. Two questions for you. Is there any big differences that you see as a quarterback from 11 on 11 to 12? And then, how easy was the transition for you to make to now this tournament?
yeah, I think the big thing is personally I find it like pre-snap reading and defense is a bit easier than in Canadian football because you don't have a lot of motions. You kind of got to get set, and what they're in is what they're going to be in. There might be a little bit of rotation and stuff like that, but it's very hard to disguise compared to Canadian. So in that aspect, it's easier. It is harder that the windows are tighter, the field's smaller. Just is it in that way, it's a faster game. But I think again, football is football. At the end of the day, you just got to go out there, play fast, physical, and sound football. And I think that's what we've all been trained to do. And we're excited to get out there and actually put it on tape and represent Canada at a high level. So.
Nice, nice. Jaden, back to you.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the aspect of X's and O's execution. That's something the coaches have been prepping and hounding us on. Right, for come game day, we got to be prepared on all sides of the ball in all three phases of the game. But I think another important aspect here is team chemistry. Right, we all come from different parts of Canada. We all have these various different paths, and over the mini camp that we had leading up to Italy and the time we spent in Rome prior to coming to Cagliari, we had this opportunity of growing together, building some team chemistry, which I think is equally important on game day as the X's and O's and execution. So I think that'll be key come tomorrow as well.
Nice, nice. And with that being said, now, um, when you look at, because I think is it just Italy you guys are playing, right? There's no other teams there.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
In
cool.
this, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I think you're gonna have UK, at least Spain, and a few others. I'm very excited to see how everyone plays because this is now where for I think all of us who are in the football world, like, for even the guys who didn't make it, like this team is stacked. This is a all star team that I think is quite exciting to see everyone come together and like you guys are all representing different areas of the country and all that stuff there. So one question I have, I'm gonna pass around to everyone is we've all through minor football, junior university. We have a lot of coaches. Is there any coaches you want to give a shout out to on who impacted you the most, was harder you the most, but got the most out of you? Anyone in your journey that you want to give a quick shout out to? I know you probably have lots of coaches, but maybe pick one or two, or a quick handful here and give them a piece of work. A coach most times volunteer, and it's always nice to hear that their efforts has compounded into the version of you right now.
No, definitely. Like for me, I know I mentioned Shane Beatty before. He's definitely one of those guys. He's out in the Okanagan Sun right now. He's one of those guys that I think on that side of things has really been our big solid rock. Always staying in touch, always calling, always seeing, making sure everything's good outside of football as well. So he's definitely like one of those figures that I definitely look up to and appreciate. As well as JC Boyce was a part of that too. He was definitely one of those smash mouth type of coaches. He's always wanting to get you to drive, which is kind of how I play. I really like to, dance around on the field, joke around, but when it comes to that snap of the ball, it's one of those things where you got to be mean, especially in the trenches and out here with that 1 yard being gone. It's a lot fast smash mouth football in the trenches, right? So those two coaches have definitely been two coaches that I'd say have really helped me move forward, as well as all my coaches have been great for me. Obviously, each one of the coaches I've been able to take a little bit from them and add that to my game. Shaq, D-line coach right now at Bison's, he was a big help in just elevating my game, right? Getting to the next level. Barber out there, Coach Barber out there, and the good old Coach Brian Dovey. He was one of those coaches that everybody knows. He's kind of a relic, I'd say, now that he's retired in the league. He was one of those coaches that really allowed you to play you, like how you were, and was able to mix those type of cultures, which really allowed you to now, for instance, coming out to a team like this where you're all learning each other pretty quick. It allows you to be able to, really understand people and understand where things have gone. So that would kind of be my side of things.
Nice.
For me, coaches, of course, I have to say my dad. He coached me toward all high school from 4 years old to 16. So I got to shout out to my dad. He pushed me to be my best self every day. And my second one would be David Deschamps. I think he's coaching the Montreal Alouettes right now. So he's the one who showed me how to play corner. I was a receiver all high school. First year Cégep, I was a receiver, and I switched to corner my second year, and he showed me everything from A to Z. I got to give him my shout outs because I don't think I'll be here without him right now. So, yeah.
My big one would be Coach Greg Marshall at Western. Obviously, transferring up from Buffalo and need a new start, and Coach Marshall took me in and obviously gave me a chance to start, and we did some pretty amazing things at Western. He's a tough love kind of coach, and really kind of helped me grow as a human being as well. So definitely him. And then, you know what, in this process, I think I need to give a big shout out to our head coach, Jesse Maddox, just because he's been behind the scenes doing a lot of things that people don't see, and it's hard to bring a team like this together. And there's so many things that people don't understand that make it difficult to do something like this. And he's been a large part of bringing us all together and finding a really, really talented team with a bunch of guys who were basically done with football in a way for the large majority. So he gave us something to want to play for. Again, putting the maple leaf on our chest is pretty special. And yeah, even though I haven't played for him for a long time, I see how much he loves the game and how much he cares for the players that he brings in to play for him. And he's done an amazing job. So definitely a special shout out to him in this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think piggybacking off of that, shout out to Jesse Maddox for sure. But for me, it'd probably have to be my dad, number one as well, Matt Albers. He really kind of laid the foundations for me. Would stay late with me after practices, just show me the basics, just keep continuing to push me every day to be my best. But from there, I think what really took me from very mediocre high school football player to maybe possibly somebody that could get a scholarship or be a university football player was Marvin Pope. I know we were coached by him, Amari, at the Colts for those 2 years, and he was one of those guys that really is tough love, but he is one of those guys that would push you to be your best, to know the X's and O's, do your job, and be that hard-nosed downhill defender. And so he really kind of created the mold of the type of player I am today. So big shout out to Marvin Pope there for that. And then obviously on the other aspect, Jason Hutchins too was a big foundational guy for me. I'm still talking to him today. Just two big Calgary names that just
Mhm.
greatly impacted my football career, I think. So, yeah.
I was gonna say, Jaden, because we were blessed with quite a star-studded coaching staff with our time at Colts. Those
Absolutely.
times from because you came 2014, 2015, right?
No, I was 2015 to
15.
20, yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, yeah. Because I knew it was I think it was the 2 years there, and so we had an absolute like star teams were
Yeah.
loaded. We were underestimated at times, came back, and all those things where we were a team that really fought for each other. And like I think we can both say this for the same. Like I look back in my junior time with the Curry Colts, us as teammates is just a blast being able to come in, compete, one beat, all the whole thing. Like we
Yeah,
had some fun times.
it was a great time, great opportunity, fantastic coaching staff, and I think Snoop, um, he came from VI Raiders, and he was a hell of a recruiter. I know we got a bunch of big players from Manitoba, even BC, which allowed us to be as good as we were as well.
Hmm. Big time.
Can't forget Teague. Can't forget Teague. Teague Sherman is also one of my coaches, up there at Cold Lake, and he's giving everybody those opportunities, man. So Teague's one of those guys that he brought the knowledge. You obviously know Teague and very well, and how he's able to take new guys and gel them with guys that have played high levels, guys that haven't. Just he's another guy that I would say is one of those coaches out there that's definitely allowed the second opportunities for a lot of guys. So.
Absolutely. A couple more questions here. Appreciate everyone's time, and getting into a tournament like this now, it requires a lot of support, a lot of funds, a lot of things have to align. Just as we're in like the middle here of just this episode here, what some shout outs you guys want to give to some of the support that overall has helped this senior team come together?
Yeah, I can start. I'd say obviously Jesse's the one of the main ones out there. He's been going to bat, talking to a lot of people, a lot of players as well. We got a lot of select few of players that have gone to bat for us, in sponsor side of things and continuing that sport. We are always still looking for sponsors. So if there's anything out there that they want to be a part of this and put a stamp on things, we're always accepting. All sorts of different ways. All Max is another big one for us. There are supplements. They have our full support. They're giving us their support, and it's definitely been a few of those things that have definitely helped aid bringing the team together. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll say Lois Mitchell in Calgary and the Mitchell Foundation stepped up big time for us and agreed to match a large donation of funds so that we could make this trip happen. So as well as all the people in our lives that stepped up to kind of donate and obviously take the time to help out and as well as give monetary support, whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's been amazing to see how many people come together to make something like this happen. They've been awesome, and again, we can't thank you enough for your support in the past and then your support going forward as well. We're constantly, like Ken said, looking for more support. So, ready to help guys kind of finish their career on a high note or hopefully be a stepping stone to playing again.
Love it. Um, one question I got that I think always is is intriguing for like just to think back at. What would you guys say has been your favorite play of football lifetime wise? It could be when you were young, university, maybe we're in the high crying or Vanny Cup, but what moment sticks out to you being like, man, that was the one play that I'm gonna remember for my life for a lifetime? And I'll let everyone answer here.
For me, I'd say it was 2019. Yeah, 2019, where we were playing Calgary Dinos in the first playoffs time of the Can West, and we were down. Last I want to say 4 or 5 seconds of the game, maybe a bit more. We had to drive the field. We were down by a tuggy, and we threw a massive Hail Mary trick play with a pitch at the end of it to Tristan Dice. And we scored, and we were just going to tie it up. We didn't come away with the win. We decided to go for two instead of kicking the field goal to tie it to overtime. But it was a TSN top 100 play of the year. It was one of those things where it was just nice to be a part of the drive and the moment to see a team really, dig down deep and do everything they can to try and get back. And that's definitely one of those things that obviously we didn't come up with the win, but it's one of those things that just sits there like, you know what, regardless of the situation, the outcome, like that was a good football play. Guys played, guys need to execute when they need to execute. We ran it maybe twice in practice and they scored both times. So we felt confident doing it. But that kind of be one of the big memories that will always stick there. It was my last game as a Bison too. So it's just one of those things where it just was always there.
For me, it would be in Cégep. I think it was 2019 too. We were playing against CNDF. That's a team in Quebec. We were down by one touchdown in like fourth quarter, and they tried to throw a pass deep in the end zone. I kid and I run for a touchdown for 105 yards. I just remember like it just switched the whole game. I think we won by like two touchdowns afterwards. It's just so a moment that I'll never forget. It's like when I think about a good play I made, I always think about this one. So yeah, I think that's one.
Yeah, I think for me, it's rather recent. It was last year in our championship game in the Czech Republic League. So my team, the Nitra Knights, we were playing the Zoimo Knights. We had tied come. We were tied going in to the last few minutes of the game, and we then went into overtime. And I had no idea what overtime looked like because we hadn't discussed it or we didn't go into overtime in throughout any of the other regular season games, and so I didn't know what was going to happen here. But so it was you start at the 25 and offense gets a drive, right? They have a chance to get a first down and so on and so forth. So we hold the Zoimo Knights to 3 and outs. Our offense goes on 3 and outs. Our defense comes back on, or sorry, our offense goes back on. They score. So now Zoimo Knights, they get a chance. So it's, third and long. We have to stop their really good Australian receiver that we haven't been able to stop all game. Sure enough, we know the ball is being thrown to him, and we come down with an interception to end the championship game on a good note. So I think that was definitely the play that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Just being a championship or being a champion, just no better feeling. So yeah.
I have a bunch that stick out to me from the 2017 Vanier. I could go through like 5 or 6 that I definitely remember. Like our team just played so well that day. And for me, I think the one that really stands out to me that and is kind of like who I am as a player was I forget what quarter it was. But it was second and like 20, and we ran a QB draw, and I ended up going right up the middle, and there was 2 guys closing down on me, and I kind of dove for the first down and took a big shot, but we ended up getting the first down, and again, the game was still in reach, but I think that kind of helped really kind of swing the momentum towards us. The guys got hyped, and again, if I can find a way to just kind of not only get a first down and help my team win, but also kind of emotionally hype the guys up and um, help prove that we have a chance to win no matter who it is against or whatever it is. Like I think those are the plays that really stand out to me. So
Love it, love it. As we get to the close remarks here now, when we look at, I think one thing you guys said is that this team had a lot of guys who came out of retirement to play. Somehow they finished up the CFL, U Sport, wherever their journey was. What do you think's gonna, because this is now where I know, like, I think for those who know, like, this podcast, we're based out of the AFL, the men's league side of things, and we're always trying to bring out talent to, improve the league and everything. And I think there's always that question of guys saying, like, oh, is it worth it to keep playing? Obviously, like playing on the senior men's team, that's a big reason why, because you're wearing our national flag on the chest, on your heart for the country that's given us a lot of opportunity. But how could you see this really, reigniting that spark for guys to keep playing, keep wanting to play where they either want to play in the AFL, NFC, Euro, anything like that? Like, does this now just respark the entire generation of guys to keep playing?
Yeah, I'd say for me, like I haven't had the pro experience like these guys, overseas or whether it's CFL looks, but um, I was one of those guys where it was, I guess, everybody thinks that the AFL is one of those things where it's like, oh, that's where you just retirement ground kind of thing. But I looked at it as an opportunity to still be able to showcase that I still got it, especially coming off an injury after rupturing my Achilles. There, it was one of those things where having this opportunity come up really allowed me to, have a drive again, have an opportunity to be able to get to a high level of football and still be able to showcase that type of thing. I would definitely say, if you feel like you still got it, like I was sitting at home, I remember watching the Grey Cup, I think it was at the time, and I'm like watching these linemen, do their thing, and I'm like, man, I can still do this. Like it's definitely something I can still do. I'm definitely one of the older guys on the team. I just had my birthday there last Sunday, so I am in the 30 zone now. It's definitely one of those things I feel that, you don't have to be a pro player. You don't have to have gone overseas. You don't have to, as long as you like love the game of football and you can compete and you can perform and you have the drive to always get better. It's one of those things where, that opportunity's still there, and being able to rep the leaf is obviously a good opportunity. And yeah, that's kind of why I would say it. Yeah, don't give up on it. It's one of those things where if you feel you can keep going, keep going. That's kind of what I'd say.
Pretty much the same, man. Just gonna add, every day that you get to play ball is a blessing. Not a lot of people get to do it in their 20s. So, like, if you can still do it, you should do it. Nothing's stopping you. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to add something.
Yeah, I think just kind of piggybacking off of them, they said it all. But this Team Canada, I think it's really double-edged sword. I think it gives a great opportunity for guys to exit that are older, that do see their careers coming to an end. But I do see some older guys, and this opportunity relighting the spark. It providing more film for them to maybe get another CFL look, or whether it be them, it's sparking the light for them to be like, okay, I do just maybe want to continue playing football at a lower level, playing in the AFC or NFC, because there will always be those various different outlets across Canada. So yeah, do you have anything?
Yeah, I think having retired for 2 years from injury, like I think the hardest part is wanting to play football more and knowing that your body kind of has limits um, and just understanding that you sometimes have to listen to your body. But I think um, if the opportunity arises and you get to keep playing a little bit more and maybe you find a way to change the style that you play so that you can maybe limit those possibilities of getting injured. I mean, it's a physical game. It's not always a guarantee, but yeah, it is tough. Like you love the game so much and you want to play forever, but at a certain point, you got to hang it up. But there are opportunities for you to keep playing. So whether it's kind of a part-time thing and you just play every so often or whatever it is, at least you get that outlet continue to enjoy the game and do what you love. So I think that's pretty special.
Love it, love it. And hey, last question for around you guys here. Any shout outs you want to give to friends, family? I know I did that with the coaches like who impacted you the most, but any shout outs you want to give? I know with us being now as a more adults, we also have careers and businesses too. So if you want to shout out any pursuits you're doing, any businesses you're doing, you want to represent, feel free to shout them out there because we're on the other side of it now where we do got bills to pay, we do got responsibilities to take care of. So hey, don't feel shy to plug yourself away, and we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, I'd say mine like kind of they've been touched on by the family. Like my parents have been super supportive, um, all across the board. Whether from playing football at 6 all the way up till now, they've always been like, you know what, regardless of the situation you're at, whether work or all of that, you have an opportunity to go and take it. You only get to live once, right? You only get to do these opportunities once, and you only get to stay young enough and fit enough once, right? So it's one of those things that I definitely shout out my parents, moms, dads, brothers, all that, all the support, and even my junior family, like my billet family. Um, R.I.P. Roger. He was one of those guys that always he took me into his house, allowed me to live with his family and gain a second family in that way. So Gina and the family, definitely much respect to them to allow me to be able to pursue my dreams and be able to try and get to the level that I'm at today. Being able to rep the flag and rep the leaf is a huge opportunity, and so I'm definitely grateful for their support along that whole way.
For me, I gotta give a shout out to my family too: mom, dad, my two sisters. Shout out to my boys back home from the south. They're always there to push me and be the better. Because sometimes I don't want to go work out, but they always pushing me to say, "Bro, you still got a shot in the CFL." Blah blah. So I gotta shout out to my boys. Shout out to my Cégep, André Grasset, the coaching staff down there, and Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, for me again, it's definitely my family. They've allowed me the opportunity to grow and have the ability to take advantage of these various opportunities of playing university football and playing overseas and playing Team Canada. Without them, I probably wouldn't be here today. So big shout out to them. And then I think, yeah, the rest of the way, we've already shouted out coaches. So to all my coaches out there that helped me, kudos.
Yeah, man, it's hard not to get on one of these and shout out your family. I think I've got two of the best parents in the world and a younger sister who support me through it all and allow me to do this and continue to do it. Uh, and then I think also I've got a really good supportive front group. I think I had two of my best friends fly over to Italy and they're coming to our game. And it really does mean the world when you've got people who no matter what, even if it's just kind of a small thing, like playing for. I mean, it's a big thing to us to playing for Team Canada. I think it's pretty cool, but it means really nothing to them other than just coming to support us, and I think that's the coolest thing in the world. And if you got people in your life like that, hold on to them forever. So, shout out to them, Jackson and Ryan, and then all my coaches as well, man. It's we've had so many good ones throughout the years, and it's led us to where we are today. And I think that's what makes football great is that once you finish and whatever, I've already noticed how many connections I have outside in the outside world as well. So never burn a bridge. If I have any advice for anybody watching who's maybe a bit younger, hold on to all the connections you make in football because you never know when they're going to be useful and whether you can be useful to them as well. So I think that's pretty cool about the sport as well.
Yeah. And one I got for you, Chris, is you got a hat on. You have the QB motion. You want to plug that there?
Oh yeah, it's just my own little company in Calgary, Alberta, man. Any quarterbacks looking to get trained. I've had a lot of experience playing the position, and I do wear my heart on the sleeve, and I think I've got a lot of knowledge. And so if anybody wants to get training, I've got a website going live this summer, and we're going to start running some camps and stuff like that. I've been doing some private training for about 2 years, but yeah, it's called QB Dynamics. You can find me on Instagram, and you can find my website there. So appreciate the shout out.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll wrap it up here. I appreciate you guys coming on, giving your thanks, giving your appreciation for the game, and representing the country here. I know it's probably for people who don't know, there's about an 8 hour difference here between Calgary time to I guess Calgary time over there too. But I'm sure I want to let you guys get to your evening activities. I'm sure you guys got some fun stuff. Be sure to get Jaden off of Tinder. I don't know if Jaden has a girlfriend or not. I just know from back day in the Colts, this man was a tear. We had like two rookies. Him and our kicker were just like tearing up. They'd be traveling like these guys are automatic with it. So keep eyes on Jaden. If he has a girlfriend, all right, he's not about that anymore. But hey, big appreciation for you guys. Kill it tomorrow. Looking forward to watching the game and just seeing Canadian football at a high level. And it's gonna be a fun time to see it. And ideally, you guys are gonna be that wave to continue this on for years to come for other guys in your spot to then take those leads forward. So yeah, hey, appreciate everything.
No, I
Hey,
appreciate your time.
one last shout out, man. Shout out to you for
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
and trying to grow the game, especially like we appreciate what you're doing and continue to do it at such a respectful and high level. So thank you.
No, thank you for your time.
Yeah, and to Tej as well. Even though his ass ain't here, it's nice to see him still in the league, still pushing his thing. Still being an asset for the league, and allowing you guys to really branch out and allow other people to see what you got going on in that area. And I'm sure he's probably doing some swearing and some cussing and a couple of beers on the course right now. So yeah, shout out to him as well.
For sure, I try. One of my goal is to try and get him to where he's at the golfing range right now, working for our tournaments. I want to try and get some clips in of his swing. So he's talking a big game, so I'm sure he's ready to
Yeah,
go here. So I'll let you guys
he's
go.
always.
Appreciate everything here.
Appreciate you.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow at your game.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. All right, that concludes our interview here now with a couple of the players with Team Canada. You can hear all of our podcasts here on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts on YouTube, you name it. Awesome to see that Canada has now reached the stage of international play on the senior level, which I think is so crucial to have for a lot of players that end their careers and now get to move on and have something to play towards. Really excited to see this turn into something that's going to lead to many future tournaments down the road. So please go support, go give a like, comment, subscribe to everything that comes out when it comes to Canada, because a lot goes into keep the game going, especially for us that gets the adult side after we leave programs. Take care.